Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Black Geyser with me, Bring It On. I'm gonna finish clearing out this mansion of monsters.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna start trying to pull enemies back towards my party, so I can fight them on my terms, because I keep finding myself getting bottlenecked. And so not all my companions can bring their weapons to bear in combat. And that's not optimal.
Go ahead, I go.
It also lets me utilize my hit and run tactic from the command company skill. So we get that little burst of movement speed at the beginning of combat.
No one stands against steel.
Now if we're already fighting in an open area, I can use that movement speed to instead close the distance with the enemy backline, like mages or archers.
As you say.
But in this instance, I can go up here and pull these guys to me, dart back real quick, and start buffing up.
Yes. Yes.
Try and stun the big guy.
Go ahead.
I must only ask. You need only ask. I await your
What next do you
instructions.
wish of me?
What do you need? By steel and
I
stone!
await your. I fear neither
Ready
pain
to
nor
serve.
death.
Hilmarius, shield me!
From the shadows he strikes.
We'll find a solution.
I'm listening.
Alright, good job, guys.
Whatever you say, go ahead.
What next?
I will lead. I await as you say.
Alright, nothing of interest in there. The room upstairs has collapsed, blocking the entrance with debris. My birth record. On the occasion of the birth of Donald, be it recognized by the light of the Holy Church of Honorius and the Sacred Grove of Telindia, that Donald was born on this day, the 22nd of Harvest End, and the 4th year of the reign of His Royal Highness King Valianric I, long may he rule, of the House of Espen by the Commoner Clea Wellgrove. Be it further recognized that Donald shall enjoy every privilege and right ascribed to his noble title under law. Be it witnessed a priest Darnor of the most glorious Honorius, Father and Creator. Priestess Miades of the most sacred Telindia, Mother and Protector. Now let's go speak to this specter.
Hello! What?
You there? A friendly face at last. Please, you must help me.
What happened here? The damage seems excessive, even for bandit raiders.
It was all down to Aldnar and his terrible soldiers. I was already on my knees. I had thought I would be taken prisoner, and when they saw I would earn them no ransom, perhaps they would release me, or they would sell me for a slave. But at least I would keep my life. But they simply cut me down, with less fuss than a scullery maid breaking a chicken's neck. Then they held a great feast over the still warm bodies. Even when his brigands had had their fill of mayhem, Aldnar egged them on. He wanted to see everything destroyed.
There were foreigners with him as well, guerrilla mercenaries and mages. When Aldnar was satisfied with the ruination of his legacy, he directed one of these wizards to open a portal. There's a bright and empty desert beyond. Strange beasts tramp through this gate. Creatures from the Eastern Empires, I think. What is it that keeps you tied to this awful ruin? It was Winona. I linger here because of my sister Winona. Since my killer didn't have the courtesy to give me an easy end, my thoughts lingered on her. When we last spoke in our home in Darren Gold, as my belly bled into the straw. We had had a fight, you see, a terrible row, before I came here to work for Lord Espen. I thought I should hate her forever for what she'd done.
The last time I saw her, I was about to leave for the estate. Winnie brought me a gift, a golden conch shell, to make up for the hurt between us, and I refused her. I left it in Darren Gould, and promised myself I should never speak to her again. And now my bitter words have come true. What a fool. I must have that gift. I have to accept it and demonstrate my forgiveness. That is the only way I may find peace.
Very well, Billin. I'll find the golden conch for you.
You will? Thank you. And please hurry. The pain of wandering through this shambles does not lessen. It stings just as badly as the day I was murdered. The family home was in Darren Gould Center, on the east side of the Guild Hall. That is where you will find it.
I'm listening. Off I go.
Alright, yet another side quest to pursue. Let's head back to Isilmerald first and turn in the record of our birth. And then we'll speak to our companions. As I never followed up on Helgenhar's quest, even though he wanted to go into the Hall of Records and see if he found what he was after.
At once.
Oh wait, I saw a thing. Someone wants to speak to me. That's good. I was curious about that. So the game does notify you when your companions want to speak with you. I was just going to check in after every major main quest milestone. Hey, you're going back to the old estate in the south, right? I want to accompany you. Why is that exactly? That I cannot tell you, I'm afraid. Alright. You can come. Good. Thank you, Donald. Let's have to go back there again.
Yes?
Yes?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm
What is
always
your
ready.
wish?
I await
Should I just
your
go back to the
at
estate
once.
then? Oh, let's do it.
At once.
Gonna take a quick peek inside and see if I can proc any more dialogue with him. If not, then we'll just go back to the capital and turn in this other quest.
At once.
Oh, not what I expected.
What happened here? A disaster. Undoubtedly. I suppose the wrong people heard the estate was abandoned and looted it. Looks like considerably more damage than a looting would account for, unless it was looted by mad wizards or stampeding bison or something. You think whoever did this might still be inside? No. If you look closely, there's already been some weather damage since whatever this is happened. Alright. Remember, we're after anything that looks like official documents. Got it. Do I have to re-find the documents?
Off I go.
Let me try something. I'm gonna try to put the documents back in the shelf and grab them again.
I'm listening. There? I will lead.
Well, I'll be a pigeon plucker. Who could have done this? Espen must have had some hard enemies for them to wreak this much havoc after his death. That part of your inheritance you might want to leave lie. That you might be right about. These mysterious riders of yours aren't much for manners. I mean, how much sand can you track into a house this many miles from the sea? The damage to the structure is extensive, and definitely not the work of thieves. Look at what's been left behind. Something catch your eye there, Hamlin? The portraiture in this room is exquisite. You should be glad they were spared. This woman was the Lady Espen, a famous beauty in her time. At any time. She aroused immense jealousy at court. Thanks to her early death and the immortal work of the painter Rand Dornan, that beauty will never fade. This was the artist's last commission before he died, which makes this piece, well, that's all I know about it. You have a collector's eye for art. Pah, simply observation. I'm always learning, you know. Wouldn't hurt you to try it sometime. Visit a museum once in a while. Learn to read. If you like the art so much, why do you look troubled? It's just that I never realized Rand Dornan's work was so big. Can you see where it's fastened to the wall? You're thinking how to steal that portrait, aren't you?
What bizarre conjecture. How could I even transport it? Without the aid of a dear friend and confidant.
What in Yerengar are you going to do with it? Listen, an object of such immense value needs to be kept in certain conditions, away from sunlight and damp for starters. Come the next heavy rain, your mum, or stepmom, could be irreparably damaged. There's no way to repay your father's memory, with a small pile of gold Rand Dornan must have charged. We need to take it down and move it somewhere safe. Hamlin, tell me why you want the portrait of Lady Espen, and I'll make a decision. Okay, I'm going to be truthful with you now. I have an obligation to retrieve this object dart. That's all I can tell you. Concerned about the money, I may be able to repay you, one day. Alright, I'm not calling you a thief. Anyone can see this painting means something to you. You have to tell me what it means. Yes, I have to admit that's fair. There's a certain noblewoman at court who was slighted somehow by Lady Espen when she was alive. I suspect the slight was that Lady Espen was so much more gay and intelligent than she, and probably a better dancer. Anyway, she's enlisted an organization in Isilmerald to fetch Lady Espen's painting. This organization posted an open contract for the portrait, a nice reward. And as you suspected, it's not money I'm after. If I retrieve the painting, I'll make my reputation in Isilmerald and beyond anywhere small and disreputable folk make an alternative living in the shadows. That's what it means to me. Well, very well. If it's so important to you, you may take it.
Wonderful to hear you say so.
A little concerned the game might crash there.
As you say.
Alright, let's head back to Isilmerald.
At once.
I have an errand to run. It won't take long, but it is urgent to deliver this ungodly huge painting.
Where are you delivering the painting? The Isilmerald Thieves Guild. You're acting as the fence for the buyer. Let me help you with it. I don't see how you can manage it on your own. Really, oof. Totally unnecessary. It's fine. Alright, see you later then. Yes, can find me later in Greybark Square.
I await your at once.
Can't imagine where the Thieves Guild might be located. Or headquartered.
I'm listening.
I'm listening. At once.
I'm listening.
I await your... Off I go.
You see these ink stains? I have work to do. Ah, you returned. Good news, I hope. I found these. I hope it's sufficient. Yes. Well, that's disappointing. What do you mean? These must be what you asked for. It's all I could find. A moment, please. Boy, come here. I have a task for you. Oh, sorry about that. These are the correct documents, and they do confirm you as the true heir to Lord Esmond's title and holdings. What's disappointing is the other stack of papers I have here. The official record of Lord Esmond's family line, succession appears to be the work of an expert forger. How do you know your records are forged and mine are real? Here, compare them side by side. The text, the legal jargon, and the format are all perfect, but the forger did not have access to Lord Esmond's official seal. If you look at the wax impression, the forged version is flawed. Yes, there is no question. You are the rightful heir. What about Esmond's son Aldnar? As the eldest, will he make a claim to the estate? Aldnar's attack on the estate under the flag of Darren Gold was effectively an attack on the crown. That nullifies, now and forever, any legal claim he might make. The king himself is the ultimate authority on these matters, you know. He's not the forgiving type. Is there anything I have to do as a nobleman? Your responsibilities as a new lord are a matter for the king. What do I do next? A timely question. Knowing His Majesty would wish to be informed of these developments at once, I sent a scribe to request an audience for you. Here he is now. My lord, His Highness King Valiant Rick has requested your presence in the throne room. Please go to the palace at once. You are expected. Understood. I'm on my way. Best of luck to you. Hope you're well, Lord Donald. Trying to
Go ahead.
help him out. Let me check my quest log. Hallbrog. I don't see a Hallbrog in here, right?
What do you need?
I'm listening. There?
Maybe he only appeared. Oh, wait. There he is. Keeper Hallbrog. Missed him earlier. Yar, what can I do for you, young fellow? Call me Hallbrog. Greetings, Hallbrog. I'm Helgenhar of the Stoneseeker clan of Stunder Hum. My people have been troubled recently by a boiling feud, and I've journeyed to the city looking for a way to stop this quarrel before it turns to bloodshed. As a scholar of Dwarven lore, you're of course aware of how stubborn and sometimes even greedy our kin can be. You know aught of how blood feuds were settled in older times. My friend, you have come to the right dwarf. I devoted my sweat and blood to studying the records of the dwarves of the Northern Realm, and adding that precious history to this Hall of Records. I'm already thinking of a couple old tomes I could cite on this topic. Is that so? What histories are you speaking of exactly? The Ironshin clan were a rowdy and capricious lot, and the Keg Runners almost as bad. I'm happy to recite a bit of their history for you, if you care to hear it. I've noticed that these kin feuds have become ever more frequent of late. It seems these new generations are more susceptible to greed than any who've come before. I have less of a handle on current events among our people, but I know someone who can help with that as well, if you're interested. Now, which tale would you like to hear? Let's hear about the Ironchin clan. The Ironchin were renowned in their time for an unlimited stubbornness and inflexibility on even the smallest of matters. It came to pass that the clan leader was lost while following a vein of emerald into the depths of a mountain, and his twin sons each vowed to take their father's place. The two malcontents stirred up strife among their allies and cousins, and almost brewed up a war, but the clan elder was wise. He counseled a single combat to decide the issue, and the lads agreed. Neither son survived the fight, but the rest of the family was spared. A younger brother, one more talented and cunning, succeeded to the clan seat, and Ironchin have prospered ever since. What I hope you've learned is that it is easier to avert the course of a river than stop it altogether. Use cunning to bend the intent of the hostile parties to keep the clan safe. Tell us about the Keg Runners. The Keg Runner clan were known everywhere among dwarves for the incredible, nigh-bottomless capacity of their bellies for ale, as well as their excellent breweries. But these noble dwarves fell into turmoil when Orton Keg Runner, clan leader, decided to marry his son to the daughter of a rival bloodline, the Golden Hammer. Orton's people were ready to revolt against their lord, so deeply they detest the Golden Hammer. Axes were already being honed, and chainmail mended, but Orton Keg Runner convinced them he had a secret. That peace with their enemies would mean shared security, less work patrolling, and more time for smithing and brewing, and importantly, drinking. When he showed his people what they had to gain from this alliance, their quarrel evaporated like foam from a tankard of beer. Take note, youngsters. When you can't speak to a dwarf's reason, point to their want for gold and gems or ale. That should help. Who's this person we could talk about for more recent Who's this person we could talk to about more recent events? A friend of mine, Fiora, works at the embassy of the Northern Realm. Actually, she's their chief consul. She's deeply invested in current events in the Northern Realm, and very knowledgeable about the Dwarven clans up that way. Fiora herself played an important role in brokering peace between Fragnagar and Riznagar. Go have a talk with her when you're able. Wise woman. The embassy is also in the Castle District, just east of the Hall of Records, between the embassies of the Eastern Empires and the lands of Zeta Suda. Look for Consul Fiora there. Good luck to you, Helgenhar. Donald.
I will lead.
Keep stumbling over my words. Allergies are doing a number on me.
At once.
Alright, let's go talk to her first, then we'll probably go get Hamlin back in our party before I speak to the king.
Piss off.
Hello again. How can I help this time? A friend of mine needs some advice from an expert on the north. Almbrag from the Hall of Records said you were knowledgeable about recent events in the area. Sure, tell me your story, and I'll help if I can. I'm of the Stoneseeker clan. A century-old split in our bloodline has led to a feud. Both sides are laying claim to a newly discovered gem mine and cannot come to an agreement about ownership. Everyone involved is too stubborn and greedy to accept any kind of compromise. As you probably know, the unclaimed miner territory will, by default, go to the king after 2 years have passed. As the time gets shorter, the rivalry is growing ever worse. If something isn't done, I fear bloodshed is inevitable. I have a niece from the other bloodline. My heart would weep should any harm come to her or her family. I must find a way to return peace to those dim halls. That is why I've come to Isilmerald. Your bravery and commitment to truth is commendable, Helgenhar. I feel a responsibility to every Dwarven clan. I confess I have a particular fondness for the Stoneseekers, though it's been long since I have seen any of that clan in person. I'll look into the deeper context of this problem with the Stoneseekers. I was one of the negotiators in the feud between Franagar and Riznagar, you know. Not an easy knot to untangle. Return later, once I've had some time to work on this. Until then, goodbye, my friends. Oh, it's completed.
I'm listening.
Yes.
Alright, well, Byala leveled up. So let's get learning and research, magical perception, and Rods and staves.
I'm always ready.
I'd like to organize that a little more, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. All right.
I await your instructions.
Let's go see about recovering Hamlin at
once.
Greybark Square. They'll meet with the king. He can wait.
Can I help you?
Can I wait to visit Market Street? You buy anything you desire there.
At once.
So I have no idea where I'm supposed to meet him at. This isn't a while, so maybe I have to wait a day or so. I need to rest up anyway, so may as well take this opportunity to do so. Since the castle district doesn't offer any lodging.
Hello.
And without Hamlin in the party, it's cheaper.
I await your instructions. At once.
So it might require a full day of resting before he appears. Well, I'm assuming there'll be a cutscene that triggers when we show up. Oh wait, there's this house down here we couldn't enter. We couldn't enter the maid's house, and I thought there was this ramshackle house as well. Which sounds like the perfect front for a thieves guild.
I await your instructions.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Or just a family.
At once.
Alright, let's go check out the maid's house real quick.
At once.
Oh, there he is.
Hmm?
What's up, buddy?
Confound it to Rothgor and every hell there is. Has this miserable city ever seen a more luckless beggar than me?
Hamlin, when did Aaron happen to you? I was ambushed like the greenest elf child on his first trip to a city, and so close to success. They knocked me on the head and took the painting. The bloody thing was so huge, the whole quarter must have spotted it as soon as I arrived. I might as well have been wearing an archery target at my backside. Well, might as well dust yourself off, unless you plan on making your living on the street corner. Speaking of making a living, you mind if we join forces again? With you a newly crowned lord, I'll be able to hide in the shadow of your important doings until I find out who attacked me. Also have someone to watch my back in case this attack was motivated by something other than a love of fine art. Oh, that makes sense. By all means, come along. I'm grateful, Donald.
Off I go.
Alright, we're back together.
I'm listening. There?
I will head back to the castle district, and in the next episode, we will speak to the king. Assuming that we can talk to him at night. I have to wait till daybreak.
At
I
once.
feel like the loading screens take a little too long.
I await your instructions.
Could entirely be my PC's fault. It is getting a little aged. It might just be time for an upgrade. Oh gosh darn it. Ah, Lord Donald. Welcome. You're most welcome. Yes, thank you. You show me to the throne room, please. Once, my lord. This courtier will escort you. Alright, looks like we're gonna talk to the king anyway. Didn't think it was gonna automatically trigger. This happens to me a lot. I try to find a good natural break for an episode, and the game just shoehorns me into the next part. I want my autonomy back.
Ah, it's you.
Your Majesty. Donald.
The reports I have read recommended you be elevated from the common rabble to the nobility. I intend to honor your birthright and make you the new head of the House of Espin. Quite a stroke of luck for you, I'd say.
What exactly does this entitle? What exactly does this title entail? Jeez. Maintain the roads under your demesne. Answer the petitions of your serfs should you eventually acquire any. Provide a levy of troops in times of war in the number I deem suitable, and these usual taxes and tithes. Or that is what such a title would entail under normal circumstances. Unfortunate House Espin hasn't a single soldier nor copper coin for the crown. Ho ho. You've more in common with a pauper than a real lord. The estate is truly beggared then. It's quite comical, I'm sure you'll agree. Once that dastard Aldnar took up the sword against his king, he became with one stroke a traitor. Jeez, entitled to nothing. If your real lineage had been revealed the day before, everything would have been yours. But instead, ho ho. All of Espin's assets and lands reverted by default to the crown. That is to say, me. Ha ha ha. Am I not to inherit even the house and land on the main estate? No, not a thing. A noble without land isn't much of a noble, it's true. But don't ask me for a handout. With the war consuming every resource, I can spare nothing, not even a patch of swamp. But should any of the enemy's estates or land happen to fall into your hands in the course of our skirmish with Darren Gold, that you may claim as your own, provided the appropriate taxes, levies, etc. Follow. As your Majesty saith, so shall it be. Now come, accept your title in sight of the crown's glory. I just reject the title? Yes, your Majesty. By the power conferred upon me by Honorius, the Most High, King amongst gods, I pronounce thee Donald, Lord of the House Espin. Yes, your Majesty. I grant thee every privilege of that title, as well as every responsibility, until your dying day, or until it be revoked by my will. Yes, your Majesty. So you rise, Lord Donald. You bring glory to the crown and your house, etc. You explore my city, revel in your newfound blue blood. Oh yes, one last thing. You need a signet ring with your family crest. There was a co-leader over a market street, who but many of your ilk visit for such trifles. I have a thing or two for him to eat. I'm from a place just as dark and hostile to life as a coal mine. Do you say something, dwarf? No, your magnificence. Just a cough from all the coal dust. Of course.
Dismissed.
Oh, so that was a
I
racist
await
remark
your
towards dwarves.
instructions.
I definitely did not catch that. Alright, I'm going to call the episode
I'm
here
listening.
before we get caught up in another cutscene. We'll try speaking to the king again next episode, and then we'll go see about getting our signet ring. And see where adventure takes us next. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.